Wow, you already know what it is. Big Dog Chico, and you're locked in right here on the Bleacher Report app. This weekend, Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes hit the road headed east to Morgantown for one of their few daytime games of the season. Both teams come in at 3-6 and both trying to keep their slim bowl hopes alive. Somebody's season getting new life on Saturday. We're going to find out which one. Now, here's the twist. We have two freshman quarterbacks starting under center for this ball game. Colorado's rolling with Julian Juju Lewis, of course, the former five-star out of Carrollton, Georgia, making his first college start. And West Virginia is going to counter with their young gun, Scotty Fox Jr., who's also a freshman quarterback. Now, Juju showed a lot of flashes last week against Arizona in the big loss versus them. He came in the second half, threw for 121 yards and a touchdown. To me, and I think everybody out there watching is going to be on new signal caller, or new play caller, should I say, Brett Bartolone, protect his young QB and design a game plan that will fit what Juju loves to do and what he does best. Expect quick reads, short passes, and a little bit of RPO, and get Juju on the outside rolling out also. It can help him find his rhythm early, get a short passes, some crossing routes, things of that nature to get him going to get that confidence level up. But I think it's going to be a heavy dose of the run game with guys like Simeon Price returning, Dallin Hayden is averaging 5 yards per carry, and Michael Welch has been steady as usual. Just got to get these guys the ball behind that big offensive line. West Virginia quarterback Scotty Fox Jr. has been quietly turning heads the last 2 weeks. He's playing way beyond his years. He threw for over 300 yards against TCU with no turnovers. Then he followed that up with 3 touchdown performance, 1 through the air, 2 on the ground, and a big road win upset at Houston. Coach Rich Rodriguez has opened up the playbook for him, giving Fox more freedom and more decisions that he can make in this offense as long as he's been decisive. That's what he's been doing the last couple of weeks. From Rich Rod and the freshman QB, you'll see a lot of RPO looks also. He's not a power runner, but he's got quick acceleration and straight line speed that can hurt defenses, especially ones like Colorado that doesn't play great in gap filling and inspiring the quarterback. They're going to have to improve that this week against this young guy who's going to want to get his rhythm running the football also. Now, defensively for West Virginia, coordinator Zach Alley runs a hybrid-style defense. It's creative, aggressive. They're unpredictable. They move around a lot, but it's also inconsistent. They're ranked number 113 nationally against the pass, giving up more than 255 yards a game through the air. Their secondary is made up of veteran transfers, but they haven't just hit their stride yet, I don't think. And Colorado's big play offensive weapons on the outside and Williams and Miller and Sincere Brown, they can get downfield and make plays on this defense. And I think Julian Lewis is the guy that's going to throw it to him and give him those opportunities. West Virginia has forced 16 takeaways this year. That's top 15 in the country, while Colorado's offense has given it away 14 times. If Coach Brett and the O-line can keep Juju clean and the Buffs protect the football, there's plenty of room for yards and points in this matchup. Both of these young quarterbacks are going to have their ups and downs. You can believe that. Some highlights. You might see some amazing plays, but you also might see some terrible freshman-type plays. Whoever stays calm in the fourth quarter, I think, that's going to be who walks out of the stadium with the win. It's the start of the Juju era for Colorado, and I'm sure you guys are excited like I am. He's going up against Scotty Fox Jr. and the West Virginia team that's gaining confidence week by week. Expect fireworks, a few mistakes, and a whole lot of life lessons from these two young quarterbacks. You already know what it is. Big Dog Chico. This has been your Colorado versus West Virginia game preview right here on the Bleacher Report app. Hit the like, subscribe, comment, all the other good stuff. We're going to be up and out of the same piece of it. If when you make a change as far as play calls, who's going to call the plays, and like y'all said, the offense is not going to change. But I think that maybe the philosophy can change. And what I mean by that is, you might have a play caller that he might call and look for passing on second and short. And you have another guy that might look more and go towards the run, rather than and I just think that will open up the offense and it could protect your young quarterback in Julian Lewis if you kind of lean more towards that run and that power game and just see where that can get you. And it also can have that time of possession to keep that defense off the field and lessen the chance of you getting 50 points putting up on you. But that might not even be true if you look at the stats from last game because they scored so damn fast and we won the time of possession, but we couldn't put points on the board. So, you got to look at it from a whole point of view. You might need to go deeper into that playbook rather than just staying on the surface.
Chico, I was gonna say something real quick. Think about this.
Yeah.
Let's say we playing Madden or NCAA college football, and you give us the same playbook and give us the same defense, right? Me and you. That doesn't mean that the game is gonna end up in the tie, right? It's gonna be about execution, and it's gonna be about who calls what when, and that's basically what it's about. Now, last week, there seemed to be a lot of similarities about when you call certain things. Like my biggest thing, and I'm not, trust me, I'll never come on here. These guys, and I make sure I make this very clear, these guys will forget more about football than I'll ever know. But this is what I will say. If you know that people are biting on the bubbles and the tunnel screens, right, then the reaction time takes less time to get there from the corners. They're diagnosing it. Then maybe we take the RPO out of it, and then we just say, hey, look, when we're throwing the screen on the perimeter, get up and throw it, and that gives people an opportunity to make a move to make somebody miss. Because at this point, the film is there. If you see fake here and you raise your shoulder, it's not going up the field. It's going lateral, and we see. And I think a lot of people say, I'm tired of seeing screens. I'm tired. Last night I did a live, and I had Auburn fans and I had Colorado fans in there. And Colorado fans were saying, if I see another screen, and then Auburn fans are saying, can we please get one of those screens? So just depending on your vantage point, right? It's like Auburn fans are like, oh, we wish we had those screens. We need your guy. And somebody was saying, oh, give us Hugh Freeze in Colorado. So it's all about the vantage point. But guess what? When you're losing, it all looks bad. Like when you're losing, it doesn't matter. Last year, it didn't matter. You're making people miss. Now, of course, people said people were still critiquing, but it wasn't this level of critique because of what? Because you were winning. Winning cures all. Now, Colorado goes on a 3-game winning streak. Everybody's back excited. It's a totally different thing. You go out here, you wet the bed, you lose the rest of these games, it's going to be a long offseason. And I think that's just where it's the nature of the game. We heard about Coach Prime talking about patience so we've heard multiple head coaches. Coach Prime is probably going to have the loudest microphone of them. Coach Prime talked about patience in a press conference. Hugh Freeze for multiple press conferences. Patience. Even in his last press conference, Hugh Freeze was like, well, I know I ain't going to get no more patience. I feel bad for him almost. He was like, yeah, well, the patience is over. Bill O'Brien last week. Did y'all see Bill O'Brien go off in the press conference? So Bill O'Brien at Boston College, they're having a rough season. A guy comes in and asks, hey, man, so it's like a dark mood around here. What are you going to do? He was like, it ain't dark to me. Y'all just ain't got no patience. You always come in here with that dark stuff. Like he's talking, you got to find that clip, Chico.
Yeah.
Dabo Sweeney, same thing. So when things aren't going well, it's the nature of it. And I don't think it's a fix. To Adam's point, you can't fix it in season. The plays are the plays. Now, if one coordinator says, you know what, when I get this look, maybe let me find a different route combination or route concept when I get this look. Those are the differences and the nuances in the play calling. And you know this too, Chico. Like certain coaches want to do certain things when they see certain cover shells. So whether it's a cover 2 or a cover 3 or quarters coverage, certain guys want to attack it. We know in cover 3, what do you got to attack? The seam, right? You make somebody make a decision in the seam. Some guys may want to attack the seam with the tight end. Some may want to take a wide receiver, run trips, and have a wide receiver go to the seam. Some people may want to say, you know what? I'm going to run a sluggo into the seam. But all of those things are still doing what? Attacking the same place, the seam. So I think there's a lot of people, and it's not their fault. It's because there's a lot of people that want a magic fix. And in this time where there's not a lot of patience in this microwave society that we're in, we got to be ready for it. Like Coach Prime said, man, you can walk in with being, I ain't gonna go BBL, but he was right.
Thicker than a Snicker. That was amazing. That was an amazing line a couple weeks ago. But no, it's crazy because Warren Sapp's kicking over pylons pregame, and everybody thinks it's hilarious for a season and a half. And then Colorado goes out to Salt Lake City, loses 53-7, and then all of a sudden Coach Prime has to address this at his press conference. To your point, it's just when you lose, people are going to nitpick. They're going to just look for anything they can to criticize, and it is what it is. And you kind of, on some level, open yourself up when coaches are getting paid this much, players are getting paid, and you lose like that. And it is what it is. It's a little bit unfortunate. I went on a whole rant earlier on a different show today about just social media nowadays. Like, it's got to be so difficult for these young men to navigate through that and to just kind of keep their confidence when they're going through a stretch like this. Like, back when we were that age, we didn't have to deal with this. And so that part of it, I get why Coach Prime wants to shield them. I certainly would have loved to hear from Julian Lewis this week, but I also get it on the human level of trying to protect these kids going in, following a really difficult 2-week stretch.
Right. Yeah, absolutely agreed.
But no, I think you were right on point. You echo what I was saying exactly, as far as you can have the same playbook if you're playing a video game, but it just depends on who's calling the plays and the execution. You can have the same coverages and come up with 2 different plays based on what that offensive coordinator sees and what this offensive coordinator sees and how to attack that.
But do understand this: some playbooks don't have a 5-wide quarterback power. Some teams just don't run that. Right.
It's just not in there. Even an option. Yeah.
Exactly. So sometimes, yes, we can run the offense differently, but there are going to be some limitations to if I see something. Now, install can be a little bit different, right?
That's why I was going to go with it. Each week you can add something, and at this point of college football, this level of college football, you could definitely install packages and plays week by week that can eventually, kind of shift your playbook as the season goes on. At this point, I can only see them adding, a package here, a package there, and going into West Virginia. That's why I said a big package, a big formation. Bring in 2 offensive linemen as the tight ends. Bring in Savell Smalls if he's available at the fullback, and let's run some power O and see what that gets us. That can be installed in a couple days.
I think it's easy. I would say it's probably a little easier to install a little bit defensively, because there's only so much you're going to do defensively. And why I say that is where we know what's been Colorado's Achilles heel all year long. It's been the quarterback run. That's been the run game period, but the quarterback run especially. You've got another quarterback who can run the ball. Fox, he's not a burner, but they definitely gassed Houston. When Houston was not looking, they ran quarterback power. Pew, we'll holler at you. And I think that's what
Duke,
yeah.
What's faster than Pew? Not too many things. Ain't that faster than Pew? I don't know anything.
Yeah,
Chat, y'all know anything faster than Pew? Let me know.
Yeah, that's the fast BB, maybe outside. That's the only thing. But to honestly though, or seriously, I should say, yeah. I mean, shoot. Right now, I don't care how many points you score. If you don't fix the run game, it's not gonna matter. But you can't. You cannot
run defense. Run defense or run offense. Run defense.
Excuse me, run defense. Yeah. If you can't improve on stopping the run, we're talking 200. We're talking about waking up getting 200 yards. Like, no, we'll go for 200 today. Like, you can't do that, bro. Yeah. And I think West Virginia is looking to. They had Hubbard get off last week for 108 yards. That was probably his best game of the season. Fox had 65 in the run game. The quarterback, their backup running back had another 65 rushing yards. So when they get to run the ball, then that's kind of when West Virginia is at their best. That's what Rich Rod wants to do.
Exactly.
He just hasn't been able to do it. And now he has a quarterback that gives you enough of a threat. The week previous at TCU, man, the quarterback looked like damn Joe Montana, so he can throw it. And when the game shifted, the quarterback was able to get back into what Rich Rod wants to do. So if Colorado isn't able to be multiple in their defense, and okay, we're expecting to pass, do we leave a spy on the quarterback and say, you know what? We would rather give up a defender over the top to make sure that this quarterback doesn't hit us for a large run. Those are the subtle changes that in philosophy that can be made. And I'm not look, I'm not saying I know that isn't happening. It could be happening, and they may not be executing. I just wanted to give an example of a subtle change, subtle packages that can be installed week to week on defense that doesn't shake everything that you taught them for the past year, while still implementing the same strategy that you've had. Just subtle changes. And Chico, as they call them, tools. Sometimes you can install tools the week of. Says, all right, well, you see this? Look, this is your tool, right?
Those tools probably should have been implemented and installed and everything else a long time ago in this defense, because we've been gassed by quarterbacks for a long while. so far this season. So, hey, implement and whatever else, install, bring on, add, whatever you need to do. We need to do that on the defensive side of the football. 4 touchdowns versus Houston for Rich Rod and West Virginia. Adam, if you're a Rich Rod and like Duke said, you're trying to get back on track, and now you got Colorado coming into town who hasn't been stopping anything, like a wet paper bag defense, like I like to say. Are you licking your chops now? Like, what are you thinking as we're coming to town?
Well, West Virginia is not good enough to lick their chops about anything, even though they had a nice win out of Houston last week. They if they want to do that could backfire on them. I feel like this is still going to be a pretty humble football team, but yeah, you're running Fox Jr. and you're making Colorado prove that they can stop that. He's 6'2", 212 as a freshman, and yeah, not the fastest dual threat. It's not Khalil Tate running around back there, but it's somebody that we talked about, I think, earlier in this show, Chico, about just kind of a Haynes King, young version of Haynes King. And offensively, this is good. If Brett Bartolone gets a better feel for things, I do think that even though you're part of the staff, you've seen the way calls have been played, you've been the passing game coordinator, so you've been involved in the game plan, but you have not made those calls yourself. There can be a growing curve there as well, and he's done it before. He's a Mike Leach disciple, and he called plays at Jackson State in 22, but it's been a minute for him calling plays. And so if he can get into a little bit of a rhythm out there as well as a play caller, I think that's really what Colorado fans want to see. Is there have been stretches that have been pretty impressive from Pat Shurmur calling plays this year, but there just has not been that flow from series to series, and that's what Colorado fans, I think, are kind of clamoring for at this point. It could happen. You can't necessarily predict it coming off the last couple of weeks, but this is a winnable football game. A week ago, I think we'd all be easily predicting a Colorado win.
Here go Untighty right here.
Untighty. Had to be a mistake.
What's up with it? You good? It's me and Chico on live.
Easy. How you doing, Auntie?
I was calling cuss about that damn Matt.
Hey. All right, Auntie.
Wait, what? What Matt? My Matt? I got it. What?
No, bro. No.
Oh.
Hey, boy. Hey, man. I talk about. Hey, man. My phone's wild, bro. You heard that? I swear, I had no idea she was going to say that. Auntie, wow, boy. Hey, let me tell you something.
All right, Auntie.
Yeah, like anybody.
I was like, what Matt?
Right.
Oh, okay. Boy, she sound like my mama right there. That damn.
What Auntie ain't playing? Man, I'm like,
that's funny as hell.
Well, just like back in the day, man, your aunties being put you in being a beef.
Right.
Yeah. They can't whoop Phillip.
Right. They're like, hold up.
Hold on. Go get Phillip. Like, no, don't go. No, I don't know these. Man, no. They can't get my nephews. What's showtime?